Spawning down in the bottom, in the top left-hand position as the blue Zerg, it is none other than SaltTheWound, who represents XMG. His opponent down in the bottom right, it is the red Protoss player. From ATN, it's Socke. Now, of course, these two have been doing a pretty awesome job in the online qualifiers. Each of the online qualifiers did actually have a prize pool itself, which is worth noting. First place got €240, second 120 euros, third, fourth 60, and fifth to 8, 30 euros. So good amounts of money already been earned by these people. And then the tournament as a whole, also sitting and looking in a pretty good spot. First prize for the entire tournament is 3,000 euros. So this is a good quality event, definitely a lot on the line, and these guys are going to be wanting to finish top of the group. Now, in terms of openings that we're going to be seeing so far, looks like piling up at the high ground, we could be getting a gateway nice and quick. We do have SaltTheWound sending a drone scout out pretty damn early. Now, in terms of Zerg openings against Protoss in the current meta game, we're seeing two distinct chains of thought. Pool hatch, with a gas following that up into a third at a normal time to combat the gateway expand, or just a very quick hatch pool. Now, SaltTheWound's got an early scout. He knows 100% the gateway's coming down, and note he's pulling the second drone, so this is going to be a hatchery. This early scout could potentially be to try and get a really quick bit of information to know whether he can go hatch pool. And if we look at the rally of this, where it's coming back to, it is heading up here as far as I know, and therefore could be going for that very, very fast expansion third base timing. So this could be really sweet. Probe coming down for Socke. He's probably not going to be able to do anything to punish this. This is why the hatch pool build is so effective against the gateway expand, is there's just really nothing that a Protoss player can do to stop it happening. It's so awkward to try and punish this in any way. So all in all, this is quite good. Socke is coming forward now. He's got his cybernetics core and no just a single gas at the moment, so he could go into something a bit more aggressive. He can definitely get down his natural expansion nice and quickly. Meanwhile, SaltTheWound, he's going down very fast for this gas, so he's actually gone hatch gas pool. It allows an earlier Zergling speed. That's the first thing. It's going to allow him to tech more. Makes him slightly more vulnerable super early on, and will delay the queens fractionally, but he can afford to delay those queens just because he's going to have the additional hatchery for the larva production. Now, we are keeping a good eye out here with the Overlord. The Overlord's getting vision straight away that the chrono boost is coming down. So a Stalker going to be on its way out, going to start trying to pick away at this Overlord. So the Overlord retreats out, knows it's coming, just really wants to get a confirmation on if the Nexus is started. Sees it go down. That's a brilliant scout. So Socke, he's now doing things fairly normal. Getting out the Stalker nice and quick to try and punish the Overlord. He's getting a nice little bit of information, knows the opening of his opponent, and is expanding anyway, which is really the only thing that he's got in his hand to do. So where does this lead on to? Well, there's a countless number of very effective two-base plays that we may see Socke go for. Anything from 3 additional gateways to go and put on some pressure, to 2 gates and some kind of tech, proxy Stargate, etc, etc. All viable things. They can all be good, unless they're scouted, then they can be shut down. We may also see Socke go for a very fast third Nexus to try and get that economy going good for himself again. We've got to keep an eye out, but for the moment, Zergling speed is coming down. Drones have been pulled out of gas, and a Stalker is just being a little bit irritating. Killed one of those lings already. 2 queens are in production, but bear in mind that those queens are at the natural and third. The main base currently does not have a queen in production because those additional minerals have had to be spent in getting some Zerglings down. So this will have production. 2 spore coolers getting made just to save those drones from being killed off. So nice control there by SaltTheWound. But Socke, he's going to be pretty happy with that. He's delayed a bit of mining time. He's forced some Zerglings, and he's now just pulling back. Behind this, 2 additional gateways are on their way down. This only takes up to 3, which means there's enough money left for some tech. Socke does have a pylon at the back of his mineral line, which may be used to hide some tech, but nope, going to be a robotic facility up here in the main. This is a bit of an awkward spot to scout, because an Overlord would have to sacrifice itself in to get there. Another Overlord is trying to come into the side, but the Mothership Core, granting high ground vision, allowing these Stalkers to start picking away at it, will manage to snipe it off, supply blocking SaltTheWound, and that's very frustrating. So he's just checking around for any proxy pylons that may be around, just trying to deal any damage. He's getting spore coolers down, not seeing any proxy pylons, and only having seen these 2 gateways. So he hasn't seen any tech. He doesn't know. It could be DTs. It could be a Stargate. But now with the Overlord coming in, he's confirmed it's a robotics facility, and he's going to hightail it out of there just to make sure that he doesn't get scouted or doesn't get that picked off. He's also going to try and pressure in with a couple of lings Lings here, but a pylon is down, a sentry's there for the force field, so wouldn't be able to achieve much. But another Zergling is sitting around at the third Nexus, just trying to keep a good peek on when that, and if that, gets taken, so a fourth can be started in response. Now, in terms of tech, there's currently only Zerglings down, but 2 additional gases have been taken by the Zerg player, ready to start into lair production. And the reason I'm expecting lair production is because the Robo and a Mortal style player is likely to be coming down. Zergling, Hydra, very strong against that. Roach Zergling, not quite as strong. So there comes down the lair. Rushing up into Hydras would be a good option in this situation. Until, of course, there's some Colossi down. But the third hatchery is about to take some pressure. A lot of Zealots are there. And without the Roaches, it's going to be more challenging to deal with that. Got to try and get some nice engagements. The Zerglings are streaming in, but good positioning from Socke. Just minimizing the surface area that those Lings were able to get around there. And if we're trying to make that work, it would be absolutely awesome if you could get a good surface area. But with Socke hugging up to the rocks, the Zealots aren't going to, well, going to trade very well against that. So the Zergling's going to try and catch them by surprise. Ultimately, they don't want that pylon to go down. If the pylon is secured, it's going to be very problematic with continual warp ins, even just from 3 warp gates. But there are 3 more on the way. That's going to take us up to 6 of them, and that's suddenly quite a lot of stuff coming out, especially considering this is only Zerglings at the moment. No Rotorun, and the lair hasn't finished yet to allow the Hydra Den. That's why we're seeing such a huge flood of Lings at the moment. SaltTheWound has got to do his utmost to try and hold this off. If he loses the third, he's going to be in problems. He's buying time for this Hydra Den to complete. Some Hydras will really help deal with this army very quickly, so it's just buying time. No Spine Crawlers have been opted for though, just purely Zerglings at the moment. They need to get a good engagement angle, and they are trying to stream in, but those force fields are very good from Socke at the moment. But will the proxy pylons get taken down? Well, one building very close will now fall. A Queen though also going down, the Lings being forced to retreat back. Socke looking so strong. GG is called, and Socke will be the winner of this first game of the series.